Whatever you want, whoa, whatever you need, my heart belongs to you. Oh, whatever you need, there's nothing I won't do. Oh, whatever you want, oh, my heart belongs to you. Oh, I say whatever you need, whatever you need, my heart belongs to you. Whatever you need, there's nothing I won't do. Whatever you want, my heart belongs to you. I say whatever you need.
Come on. I'm live by the street code. Gotta get the money and the power, man it like a free throw. Now I'm going beast mode. Gotta live for the moment, I'ma tell you how the beat goes. Don't shoot back, I'm really sick of you hoes. This how the story gon' go. Me and my niggas go hard. I run the streets like a god. Strap on my boots while I'm smoking that gas. I'm in a fast car going fast. On a level that you can't pass. And if it was a battle, you gon' finish this. On the phone as a queen, still handle her business. I am the grittiest. Don't get it twisted. Come down just to empty my clip. Come on, get what I want. If you got it, I get it. You bitches can't stop what I finish. Never gon' lose. We stay winning. Hope on this is up in the building. Come on.
But I know that there's more for you, more for us.
Children, rain all night long. Didn't it all, oh my Lord. Didn't it rain, children, rain all night long. Didn't it all, oh my Lord. Didn't it rain?
You can't run from it. You can't deny it. You can't pass it off. It's your call. God knew what he was doing. He knew who he was calling. And he expertly and intricately detailed every aspect of your life, your being, your persona, your psyche, your physicality, everything about you, from the texture of your hair to the color of your eyes to the way that you laugh to the fingerprint on your thumb. Everything is connected to your calling. And until you walk into the fullness of the thing that you were created for, you will find yourself frustrated. You're called.
Yeah. Hey.
It's Caliber, baby.
Who on this exclusive?
It's time, sir. Let's get it. War. We want the throne. Go home. We want it all. Y'all ain't ready for this. Let's go. Drop it down. Let me see you do that work. Drop it down. Let me see you do that work. That boss made me go there. 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 Drop it down. Let me see you do that work. Drop it down. Let me see you do that work. That boss made me go there. Boss made me go there. Boss made me go there. Boss made me go there.
Came back to the game, cause I'm losing my patience. I ain't worried about nothing, man. Sitting around, stunting, man, the time getting wasted. Slow it down for you hitters. Nah, let me break it down for you hitters. My flow so deep, man, it weigh about 4-5 pounds on you hitters. I'm here to stay. I'ma hit on my business. Now runners in the building and I'm bringing that heat, man. God is my witness. I'ma shut it on down, and I'ma make the speakers bleed. And all the game really missing down the street. Got on record for my city, I'm record for my crew. You'll play around everything in the mic that I choose. I stay getting that paper, got a lot of haters, I take ya. Ain't nobody gonna stop me, cause I'm on another level, let the trap breathe. Let's go!
War. We want the throne. We want it all. Y'all ain't ready for this. 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 me go there, go there. About to make me go there, go there. Drop it down, let me see you do that work, work, work. Drop it down, let me see you do that work. About to make me go there, go there. About to make me go there, go there. About to make me go there, go there. About to make me go there, go there.
How about a round of applause? How about a round of applause? Yeah, I ain't really saying nothing, make you hold the microphone, man, put it on pause. Y'all let the chick go harder than y'all. Y'all gonna make keep embarrassing y'all, and they gon' say who that is, man, you know she go hard. Gotta get that paper to get them, and they gon' fall. I swear I'm about to win it. When they play it back in the bass drop, in the club rock, and they gon' know this is hip hop. Already know that I won't stop till I reach the level that I'm on top. 100 degrees, if you got the money, man, put it on me. Cause my pick game is so dangerous. I finish a hit, who wanna come for me? I ain't playing around with you, boy. When I hit the stage, I make noise. I'ma be around for a century. Yeah, you heard of me. Might win the crown, it's a victory. Make way, cause I'm coming. Hungry, but I'm still coming.
We want the throne. We want it all. Y'all ain't ready for this. 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 Let's go. Drop it down. Let me see you do that work, work, work. Drop it down. Let me see you do that work. I'm about to make me go there, go there. 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 Drop it down. Let me see you do that work, work, work. Drop it down. Let me see you do that work. I'm about to make me go there, go there. About to make me go there, go there. About to make me go there, go there. About to make me go there, go there.
I'm really all about my money, my money, my money. You don't get it twisted, I'm still from the hood. And I look good. Yeah, I'm on my business, got a stack up in the briefcase. When it comes to getting in, no, I don't wait. Cause I've been on the grind and I don't need no help. I'm so high, man, I sign myself. She's that raw DC, go hard. Put on some stripes and them stars. On another planet, I'm gone. Just call me right, cause y'all wrong. I blast off to another place, to another space. So some of y'all caught that winning. I'm telling y'all haters keep running your mouth, gunning over top the mic, I'm finished.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Yo, here we go. Here we go. If I look frustrated to some people, because I am very frustrated. I am very frustrated to the point where I'm really about to say hell with a lot of things. So, first of all, let's get the salutations out the way. Shout out to the Dream Team, the best team in the land. Everybody that's here. Shout out to the Dream Team that's over on Rumble, over on Instagram, over on X, over on True Social, over on Twitch, over on OnlyFans. Shout out to all of y'all, man. But I must say this. I hate what happened in Chicago today. Do I have a beef with the LGBTQ community? No. So before I go any further, if you want to donate to this channel on YouTube, there's a box at the bottom with a dollar sign in it. It's called the Super Chat. You can go and donate. Nothing's too little, nothing too small. No. The next thing you can do is what up, Atmos? What's going on, bro? Next thing you can do is hit the Cash App, $ OfficialDanaJay. Or you can hit, all the other pay things. My mods will be running my Cash App and everything through the chat throughout the live. So this is the only time you'll hear me mention it. But the mods will continuously run it throughout the chat. I got to load myself up with a bunch of sugar real quick because what just happened is crazy. And Teresa, she said, Dana, some things are beyond our control. Bullshit. I totally refuse to submit to any type of to any type of BS establishment. So what I will do is take you backwards first and then bring you forward. Because if you can submit to a BS establishment, what is that saying about you? You feel me? What is that saying about you? You got to stand for something before you fall for anything. And a weird part about all of this is that I still have the same question that I've been asking for damn near 2 years. So if you're looking for a upbeat live, this ain't it. I'm ready to go to war. This live is not the live that you want to come listen to, because a lot of facts is going to be spewed. And when the facts are spewed, people get upset. But guess what? I don't care about you getting upset, because I got a beef of what's going on. And I'm going to be honest with you. The beef that I have, everybody should have this beef. Huh? Let's go here. Everybody made money off of R. Kelly, right? But nobody want to talk about the injustice of R. Kelly. See, I shut up and give people time to do what they do and expose themselves. And what I told y'all damn near 3 years ago, I said the LGBTQ community as a whole is a problem. People, oh no, Dana, you against the gays? No. LGBTQ LGB was fine, but from T on is a problem. Now, folks gonna say, "Oh, what are you talking about?" Okay, well, let's go here. When you have people staging lynching hosts, now here's where I talk to my people over on Facebook, the people that don't want to talk about things because they don't want to be labeled or they cool. Check this out. I have family members who are in the LGB community. I have family members who are in the LGB community. And like I said, everybody has something to say until it's time to go live and really say it. I got family members that's in the LGB community. Now, that TQ, elemental P, XYZ, pedophile, all them, you and you, yeah, I don't got no family in there. So let's break down the difference. Jussie Smollett is backed. And let's be real. His name is not Jesse. His name is Jussie. Let's keep it real. So let's stop saying Jussie Smollett. That's not his name. His name is Jussie. That's the problem. Everybody want to give people the wrong acronyms or the wrong act right. No, we're gonna going forward and we're gonna address you who you are. Your name is Jussie, Jussie, notJessie. Big difference. Hit that like button, like, share, subscribe. Because, like I said, at the end of the day, I got a problem. So we got to go back. Jussie Smollett formed or staged a coup on himself. Excuse me. With two, let's go here, African, not African American, but African brothers. Them brothers was facing jail time until the courts looked at it and said, we ain't gonna give them jail time. So Jussie put the city of Chicago on notice. He put the city of Chicago so much on notice to the point where it was people and officers looking for these guys and trying to figure out what happened to Jussie. Because at this time, we just knew that he was an Empire star. We knew that he came out the closet and he was supposed to be accepted. I'm going to be real with you. Not only did Jussie, and this is where I get ugly at, not only did Jussie cause people from Empire to lose their jobs, but it had a snowball effect because us that worked on Star, we lost our jobs too. Uh-oh. So now when people say, well, Dana, what do you got to do with that? Oh, yeah, I lost my job too. Queen Latifah lost her job. Everybody on Star lost their job. Now, I'm going to ask this question. Because it's not fair to say all of the T's in the LGBTQT community are bad. Because one of the actors, and I'm saying it right, has a full trans revitalization. The one named Ryan, right? I came in contact with Ryan on set about 30 times. Very cool, down to earth. Never take nobody anywhere. Never be overexposure. None of that stuff that Jussie did. So my question is this: why Ryan didn't stage a coup? Can we talk about it? Why Ryan didn't stage a coup? And Ryan would have been more susceptible than Jussie. So because I keep things, they call me the receipt man, the receipt king, whatever you want to call me. Listen, I'm just DanaJay. Because I keep things, and a lot of people forget about. It says about a dozen supporters of actor Jussie Smollett rallied outside the Cook County Jail on Sunday to protest his jail sentence. The former Empire actor was convicted of 5 counts of disorderly conduct and sentenced to 150 days in jail for staging a hate crime against himself in January 2019. He must also pay $145,000 in restitution to the city of Chicago and do 30 months of felony probation. People at the rally on Sunday said the judicial system is racist and that Smollet should not serve any jail time. Judge James Lynn approved a request submitted Thursday by Smollett's attorneys that the 39-year-old be held in a cell by himself, monitored continuously by cameras and guards. At the sentencing hearing, Smollet repeated his claim that he is innocent. If I did this, then it means that I stuck my fists in the fears of Black Americans. Watch this. I told you I was coming. Of Black Americans. What does black means? Black means death. So that means that he stuck his fists in the fears of dead Americans. So what that mean? There is no American walking that's dead. See how things go and flip? So then it says Americans in this country for over 400 years and the fears of the LGBT community. And the fears of the LGBT community. Hold on. Before there was an LGBT community, there was what? A Caucasian community. There was an indigenous community. There was a colored folks community. So let me ask you this question. What makes the LGBT community so strong over the people that been there before them? Then it says, Smollet said, standing up at the defense table as his lawyers and sheriff's deputies surrounded him. Your Honor, I respect you and I respect the jury, but I did not do this. I am not suicidal. Excuse me. And if anything happens to me when I go in there, I did not do it to myself. And you must all know that. Publicity stunt. So with that being said, my question to everybody would be this right here. Who got in Jussie's ear for him to say that in front of everybody? What up, Chi-Town? What up, everybody that's coming in? I am so angry with the Illinois justice system. And see, and where most people will cover it up, not me. Because when you cover things up, they tend to manifest. I have strongly, and I'm going to say this, I'm an actor, but I have strongly boycotted Samuel L. Jackson. People had told me I was wrong for this, but when you know that wrong is wrong, how can you support wrong? And I told everybody that what Samuel L. Jackson is doing is setting up the stage for the later to be greater. And they was like, Oh, what you mean? I said he supports Kamala Harris. No, he don't. He never support her. What did you see on her campaign trail? Who came out with Tyler Perry? So when people talk about this don't have nothing to do with this, oh, yes, it do. It all ties in. And it's been tying in for years. What do the elite and the globalists have to hide now that they all got to band together and they've been banding together in private, but the church made it comfortable for them to come out in public? Because you do have to believe and you do have to know that nothing goes mainstream unless it hits the church first. I don't know why, but it's been like that for years. So Samuel Jackson and his wife pleaded with the court to give Jussie Smollett a lighter verdict ahead of his 150-day jail sentence. Where you going with this, Dana? Just hold on. Just hold on. I'm about to help some people with something. And everybody talking about his sister. No, let's talk about these folks. These folks. Let's talk about these folks, shall we? Because everybody talking about his sister. Well, kid's sister and me, let's talk about these folks. First things first, Kamala Harris. Y'all thought I was going to leave it alone. No. We ain't leaving this alone. Because until we, the people, understand what's going on. Watch this. The same people that came after the Orange Man is the same people who uphold or who upheld the self-righteousness attack on himself. First things first, Kamala Harris. At Jussie Smollett is one of the kindest people, is one of the kindest, most gentle human beings I know. I'm praying for his quick recovery. This was an attempt, modern day lynching. No one should have to fear for their life because of their sexuality or color of their skin. We must confront this hate. Hold on. Let's go. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. There is no such thing as racially charged. This attack was not possibly homophobic. It was a racist and homophobic attack. So how can you say it's not possibly homophobic, but then turn around and say it was a racist and homophobic attack? If you don't like what is happening to our country, then work to change it. It is no one's job to water down or sugarcoat the rise of hate crimes. Oh, watch this. Joy Ann Reid, pro-democracy. The most dumbest, I'm not going to say that word. The most dumbest colored chick I've ever heard. This is when she had hair. She was even more stupider then than she is now that she cut her hair. But nooses never really disappeared as messages of a very specific kind of terror. But every time they're used, my God, it's chilling. Praying for Jussie's full recovery and for us all. Let's scroll up. Bernie Sanders. The racist and homophobic attack on Jussie Smollett is a horrific instance of the surge in hostility towards minorities around the country. We must come together to eradicate all forms of bigotry and violence. Oh, that come from Bernie. Lori Lightfoot. My thoughts and prayers are with Jussie Smollett. Everyone deserves to live safely as their true, authentic self in this city. As mayor, I will make sure that regardless of the victim's stature, hate crime, incidents, and complaints are fully investigated. But check this out, bit.ly /LLLGBTQ. Oh, do y'all get it now? Rashida Tlaib, one of the most famous black and gay men in America, is not safe. The message is clearer than it has ever been. The dangerous lies spewing from the right wing is killing and hurting our people. Thinking of you at Jussie Smollett and any LGBTQ neighbors. Okay. Joe Biden. Uh-oh. What happened today to Jussie Smollett must never be tolerated in this country. We must stand up and demand that we no longer give this hate safe harbor, that homophobia and racism have no place on our streets or in our hearts. We are with you, Jussie. Cory Booker. The vicious attack on actor Jussie Smollett was an attempted modern-day lynching. I'm glad he's safe. To those in Congress who don't feel the urgency to pass our anti-lynching bill designating lynching as a federal hate crime, I urge you to pay attention. Eric Swalwell. What happened to Jussie Smollett is vile and tragic. Thankfully, he will recover. But hate crimes like this are happening more frequent, egged on by careless, hate-filled rhetoric. We start reducing these crimes by rejecting the speech. Neither can ever be accepted as normal. So I have a question. When will any of these people give them two brothers from Africa that was hired to bodyguard Jussie Smollett an apology publicly? But hold on. These the same people that I told you was bullcrap. And they used that same rhetoric 3 years later on who? The Orange Man. So when people come and say, oh, Dana, you just taking up for them. No. I seen it before. So when are we going to hold not just the problems of the LGBTQ XYZ community, but when are we going to hold the men and the women accountable for their actions? What up, Colton? When are we going to hold these people accountable? And see, and unlike everybody else, I have the justice. I have the dissent. And I'm going to read the dissent, which is troubling to me. Because the special prosecutor only acts to show the truth. See?
And I think he feels obligated to let the public know how he reached those conclusions.
The special prosecutor in the Jussie Smollett case now wants to release his full report on the role of State's Attorney Kim Foxx.
Dan Webb previously found Foxx made false public statements and committed substantial abuses, including her original decision to drop all charges against Smollett.
Our political editor Mike Flannery has more.
Did Mr. Smollett lie to the police and
Special Prosecutor Dan Webb said in today's legal filings that, quote, the interests of justice require public release of his 60-page report on the bizarre Jussie Smollett case.
The question is, why did Kim Foxx reach the decisions she made?
After a grand jury indicted Smollett on 16 counts related to faking a hate crime and then blaming it on imaginary Donald Trump supporters, State's Attorney Foxx first claimed to have a, quote, strong case. But then, with no advance notice to police or public, Foxx's office suddenly dropped all charges, with Smollett then predictably proclaiming total innocence.
I've been truthful and consistent.
Smollet on 16 counts related to faking a hate crime and then blaming it on imaginary Donald Trump supporters. State's Attorney Fox crime and then blaming it on imaginary Donald Trump supporters. Smollet on 16 counts related to faking a hate crime and then blaming it on imaginary Donald Trump supporters. Smollet on 16 counts related to faking a hate crime and then blaming it on imaginary Donald Trump supporters. State's Attorney Fox first claimed to have a, quote, strong case. But then, with no advance notice to police or public, Fox's office suddenly dropped all charges, with Smollet then predictably proclaiming total innocence.
I've been truthful and consistent on every single level since day one.
Now that Smollett's been found guilty on 5 felony counts, the special prosecutor wants permission to release relevant grand jury evidence relating to, among others, Fox, who substantially abused her power. Webb found Fox repeatedly made false claims and that her office
since day one.
Now that Smollett's been found guilty on 5 felony counts, the special prosecutor wants permission to release relevant grand jury evidence relating to, among others, Fox, who substantially abused her power. Webb found Fox repeatedly made false claims and that her office even collaborated with Smollett's lawyers on a statement about the case, which Webb called very unusual.
And Webb has concluded that the
counts, the special prosecutor wants permission to release relevant grand jury evidence relating to, among others, Fox, who substantially abused her power. Webb found Fox repeatedly made false claims and that her office even collaborated with Smollett's lawyers on a statement about the case, which Webb called very unusual.
And Webb has concluded that the need for publicizing this summary report is more important or outweighs the need for protecting the secrecy of the grand jury system.
A spokeswoman said Fox had no comment. A hearing on Webb's request to release his full report is scheduled for Monday morning in Cook County Circuit Court. I'm political editor Mike Flannery.
Visit Tampa Bay.
I have a question. We have seen Kim Fox tamper in cases before, i.e. R. Kelly, which further proves my point about the city of Chicago. So people wonder why I really hate Chicago. And like I say, I don't hate the whole Chicago because Chicago have some good people there. But I hate the people that run Chicago because you have a man that staged a hate crime, that played in your face and got away with it because he's connected to a big organization that sticks together. And let me give you a further backstory. Barack Obama was one of the ones, and Tina Tension was one of the ones that helped get the special prosecutor off the case. Barack Obama and Tina Tension also sent it to the Supreme Court. So when the green light was given to send Jussie Smollett case file to the Supreme Court, it went straight through with no problem. Ask yourself this question. Why his went straight through and was read upon, but Robert Sylvester Kelly's was denied in the Illinois Supreme Court? So people saying, oh, it's over for R. Kelly. Nope, it's not. Because now he can go to the big Supreme Court and the one in D.C. Well, while it's still there. And it's things like this that make people scared, because this is what Trump was talking about when he said, we got to get the bad people out of these courthouses. But a lot of y'all was talking about, oh no, Trump's the bad guy. Now you see how all this tying in? You see how Trump just sat back and watched how they did certain people and how they didn't do certain people? Now, I find it funny that Jussie Smollett can form a coup and blame it on Trump supporters that really wasn't even there. And you see how all of the systematic liars jump out there and say, I hate Trump. It's about Trump. It's about Trump. It was never about Trump. It's about Jussie losing a fucking contract for a show. And let's keep it real. I might not ever get casted for this again. But it wasn't the director that didn't want him. It was the network that didn't want him because he was acting weird. And they said, it's being filmed in Chicago. He lives in Chicago. He's acting weird in Chicago. And they put the press on the director. Now, ask yourself this question. What do that have to do with Donald Trump? Same question that I've been asking for a long MFing time. But when people have a fixed mind, this is what they do. And see, I could have been came up with this. But I kept dropping nuggets because that's what I do. I drop nuggets to see who's going to go do their research or who just want to get spoon-fed. I'm not spoon-feeding nobody anymore. So let's read what the, you know what? And before I go there, let's go here. Before I go there, let's go here. We're going to meet the Illinois Supreme Court justices. I want you to remember the names. Mary Jane Thies, she's the Chief Justice over all of it. She's the highest in the land in Chicago. Pay attention. Mary Jane Thies was born in Chicago. She received her bachelor's degree from Loyola University, Chicago in 1971, and her law degree from the University of San Francisco School of Law in 1974. From 1974 to 1983, she was an assistant public defender in Cook County. That's all I'm going to read about that. Then you have P. Scott Neville, which is Obama's homeboy. This is the one that Larry Nassar called out. And everybody didn't know who this was. Justice Neville, a graduate of Washington University School of Law, has been actively practicing law in Illinois since 1974, when he became a law clerk for Justice Glenn T. Johnson of the Illinois Appellate Court. Thereafter, Justice Neville specialized in appellate, employment, civil rights, and complex civil litigation. I'm going to stop there. I want you to pay attention to some things. David K. Overstreet. David K. Overstreet was born on January 14th, 1966 in Mount Vernon, Illinois. He received his Bachelor's of Science degree from Lipscomb University and his Juris Doctor's degree from the University of Tennessee. He practiced law with Milner, Tracy, Braun, and Wilson, Ltd. Of Monticello, Illinois. From 1991 to 1992, with the law office of Peter G. Angelos of Knoxville, Tennessee. Hold on. Where have y'all heard of this law office from before? Where have y'all heard of that from before? From 1992 to 1985, and with Mitchell, Nirabra, Shaw, and Hanson PC, Nirabra, Hanson, and Overstreet PC, and Nirabra and Overstreet PC of Mount Vernon, Illinois from 1995 until his appointment to the Second Judicial Circuit Court in 2007. After being appointed to the bench, Justice Overstreet successfully ran for election in 2008 and was retained in 2014. After being assigned to the 5th District Appellate Court in 2017, he was elected to serve on that court in 2018. Justice Overstreet was elected to the Illinois Supreme Court from the 5th Judicial District in 2020. Let's go here. I don't know why it's staticky. Hey, can y'all hear me well out there, or am I still being staticky? I tried to tweak something. If it's still staticky, let me know. Or if y'all can hear me good, just be like, yeah, I can hear you. I'm still staticking? All right, hold on. Next, hold on, let me see. Next, we're going to Lisa Holder White. Lisa Holder White earned her Bachelor of Arts degree in 1990. Let me know when it get better. In 1990 from Lewis University in Romeoville, Illinois, where she graduated magna cum laude. In 1993, Justice White earned her Juris Doctor's degree from the University of Illinois College of Law in Urbana-Champaign. Okay. Joy V. Cunningham. Here we go. Joy V. Cunningham attended the City University of New York, where she obtained a Bachelor of Science degree. She later attended John Marshall Law School in Chicago, where she earned a law degree in 1982. Before joining the Illinois Appellate Court, she served as Senior Vice President, General Counsel, and Corporate Secretary for the Northwestern Memorial System, which includes Northwestern Memorial Hospital and Northwestern Memorial Foundation. Okay. Then you got Elizabeth and Rockford. Hold on. I know what's wrong. Hold on. All right, that should fix it right there. Let's see. That should fix it right there. All right. So is that better? Hi, Hammer Time Funk. So Elizabeth Rockford earned her Bachelor of Arts degree in English from Loyola University of Chicago and her Juris Doctor degree from Loyola University School of Law in Chicago. She served as Assistant State's Attorney in 1986 to 1989, as a solo practitioner, trust and estates and real estate 1989 to 2012, as Commissioner of the Court of Claims 1990 to 2012, and Administrative Law Hearing Officer for municipalities including Lincolnwood, Skokie, Morton Grove, and Glenview, 2005 to 2012. Last but not least, Mary Kay O'Brien. Justice Mary Kay O'Brien was born in what? Kankakee, Illinois, and raised on her family's farm in Rhetoric, Illinois. She is a graduate of Western Illinois University and received her Juris Doctorate from the University of Illinois. Justice O'Brien began her legal career at the Grundy County State's Attorney's Office before going into private practice. All right. So, yeah, those were the justices, right? I keep saying, and before I go one place, I got to go somewhere else. So I want y'all to look at this. I want y'all to look at that. Check this out. My bad. My bad. My bad. That was my fault. My bad. Ooh, that was my bad. So, with that being said, let's take a look at woke Jussie Smollett in court.
And what happened? Turns out that you're not a victim of a hate crime. You're not a victim of a racial hate crime. You're not a victim of a homophobic hate crime. You're just a charlatan pretending to be a victim of a hate crime. And that's shameful, especially from the family you got brought up with your family values.
A few moments later.
All right, any other matters to come before the court today? All right, defendants remanded for custody sheriff. Court is adjourned.
I am not suicidal. I am not suicidal, and I am innocent. I could have said that I was guilty a long time ago.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about some good news, some positive news involving woke, washed up actor Jussie Smollett, who staged a hate crime against himself, okay, in which he paid two African guys to beat him up in the middle of Chicago after getting a Subway sandwich past midnight.
They took our beautiful bench. This is where we waited for Jussie to come before we attacked them. So we got here with 10 minutes to spare, and we had to plan our escape route to survey the land. His building is actually right here, right above the stairs that we're going to attack him at. We made sure we got there at 2 a.m. sharp.
On the dot.
On the dot. We had no phones because he did not want us to bring any phones. He said, so we don't lose them. I don't know if that's really the reason, but you can deduce your own reason. So 2 a.m., he was nowhere to be found. He was not there. So we were like, damn, what do? We didn't have no way of contacting him. He had no way of contacting us. So we waited here for about, what, 4 minutes?
It was about 4 minutes,
4 minutes.
But it felt like forever.
Because it was cold as balls. So I saw him out the corner of my eye, and I was like, okay, that's him, let's go. As we crossed the street, we said hey to get his attention, turned around, looked at us, and that's when we started yelling the famous slurs he wanted us to yell. It's MAGA country. Yeah. And then he said, what did you say to me? And then that's when I threw the first punch at him. I held the blow because I didn't want to hurt him, of course. So I made it look real, but I held it. Then we started tussling, moving around, and then I threw him to the ground. He wanted it to look like he fought back. That was very important for him because he said, hey, don't just beat my ass, make it look like I'm fighting back and whatnot. So we did that, and then I threw him to the ground. And after I threw him to the ground, he had no bruise. I wanted it to look more real. So then I threw him to the ground. After I threw him to the ground, I used my knuckle and gave him a noogie. So I went like this.
Now, the story behind Jussie Smollett and these African men, these Nigerian men that he hired to beat him up, okay, is hilarious to me, okay? Apparently, he was in a sexual relationship with at least one of them, okay, allegedly. He was getting his cheeks clapped. I think that he was getting his cheeks clapped by both of them, right? I think that this is a love story going wrong, okay? I personally believe there's a lot more to this than, what, we're being told, okay? Allegedly, they used to hotbox together and ride around and do all types of crazy stuff together, okay? There's a long story, okay? A long and hard story behind what happened with Jussie, right? I think that, there's a lot more to this, okay? But regardless, he hired these Nigerian guys to be white MAGA hat wearing white supremacists, right? MAGA hat wearing white supremacists beat up Jussie Smollett in the middle of Chicago. And Kanye West was nowhere to be found at the time of this alleged attack. So, of course, this was an unbelievable story, right? Completely unbelievable. That was believed by too many people in this country at the time in which Jussie Smollett alleged that it happened, okay? But people quickly discovered that he was making it all up, okay? That he staged this hate crime against himself. And after everybody found out that the jig was up, that there were no MAGA hat wearing white supremacists that beat him up, he basically claimed that the Nigerian brothers are the ones that beat him up and that they beat him up on purpose, right? That it wasn't something that he paid for. They just beat him up because it was a homophobic attack, even though these guys have been pictured at a pride parade, right? So these guys, again, they are into the same thing that Jussie's into, okay? But again, apparently, they're homophobic, even though they've been pictured at pride parades. They seem to be into, you know, the same lifestyle that Jussie's into, okay? They like clapping cheeks and getting their cheeks clapped too, right? I'm just saying. Again, fascinating stuff, right? The homophobic gay guys, right? Again, this is typical leftist behavior, leftist accusations, okay, when they get caught up in their lies, right? This is kind of how it goes. It kind of reminds me of the black white supremacists, right? That label. But ultimately, he lied to the world. He lied to the police about this attack. And eventually, he was found guilty of such and sentenced to jail.
Jussie Smollett. Step over. That's what you need.
Shalom, everyone. My name is Eris Soref. I'm the president of One for Israel. I'm sure many of you have seen news about Israel and the Middle East over the past year. It's been a
Take a small step this way. Perfect.
Mr. Smollett, we're the ERT team, emergency response team. We handle all the high-profile guys. We had R. Kelly when he was here. You're in safe hands with the whole situation. A highly professional group of guys there. Appreciate that.
And then here's, looks like extra large pants. And also an extra large shirt.
Yeah, so Jussie, who is a highly weird actor, was unfortunately released from jail just a week after his sentence because he was kicking and screaming and crying in jail about how it wasn't safe, okay? This man was allegedly having psychiatric meltdowns in prison, okay? And you had a bunch of woke activists calling in his defense, claiming that there was racism and bigotry and homophobia going on in regards to Jussie facing accountability, right? Facing justice, right? Having to serve a jail sentence, okay? It was no way that Jussie should be held responsible for his actions. And the arguments that they made in regards to why he shouldn't serve any type of punishment for his actions is because he has infinity stones of wokeness, right? Which, you know, again, Jussie represents, in my opinion, the stereotypical Democrat, right? He really does. Somebody who claims that because they're a victim, okay, because of their skin color, because of who they like to sleep with, because of whether or not they actually like their genitalia, yeah, they're a victim, right? And they should face no accountability and no punishment for their actions. But again, because we live in a society that capitulates to this type of boohoo whining crime victimhood, he was ultimately released on appeal, okay? And the good news is that that appeal has been denied, and he's going back to jail, and he's going to have to serve out his jail sentence that, in my opinion, I think is way too lenient. So let's read about this because, again, his conviction has been upheld by a Illinois appeals court. And I want you guys to notice the sticklers in the comment section that always make fun of how I pronounce words and names. I said Illinois, not Illinois, right? So I'm listening, okay? I'm trying to get better, okay? An Illinois appeals court upheld actor Jussie Smollett's conviction for a staged hate crime in an opinion filed Friday. The decision was 2-1 with Justice David Navarro and Justice Mary Ellen Coghallen agreeing. Judge Fredrina Lyle dissented according to court documents obtained by Fox News Digital. Smollett's legal team will file an appeal with the Supreme Court. Okay, so this guy's just going to keep appealing, right? A 6-month jail sentence. All he got to do is just sit in jail for 6 months. Again, he has infinity stones of wokeness. They're not really going to let anything happen to him. But then again, the Cook County jail is one of the worst jails in America. So I kind of understand why he doesn't want to be there, right? but he's going to get special treatment, okay? Because he's a woke actor, Lord forbid anything happened to him. They're not going to let anything happen to him. They're not going to let him get Derek Chauvin, okay, because he has Infinity Stones of wokeness. But again, this is a Chicago jail, right? So, I gotta get it, right? I wouldn't want to spend much time in Chicago jail either, okay? So I understand why he's doing it. I just think that it's just not going to be successful because he's clearly and obviously guilty. Quote, we wish to highlight that the decision was divided, with Justice Lau offering a detailed analysis in favor of Smollet. His rep, Holly Bird, told Fox News Digital, we are preparing to escalate this matter to the Supreme Court armed with a substantial body of evidence, aka woke arguments. Well, because, Jussie Smollett has Infinity Stones of wokeness, therefore he shouldn't face any responsibilities for his actions, right? That's the gist of the argument here, right? I believe, okay? Special Prosecutor Dan K. Webb shared a statement following the appellate court's decision to uphold the conviction. Quote, as the appellate court noted, Mr. Smollet challenged virtually every aspect of the prosecution, and the appellate court correctly rejected each and every one of those challenges. Webb said, today's decision is a validation of Winston Strom's tireless work on this matter and a resounding victory for justice. We are proud to have prevailed in a case that we believe can help restore the public's confidence in the Cook County justice system. A jury previously found Smollet guilty on 5 of the 6 charges of disorderly conduct after a nearly 2-week trial in 2021. Smollet, who is black and gay, reported to Chicago police that he was a victim of a racist and homophobic attack by 2 men wearing ski masks in January 2019. The manhunt for the attacker soon turned into an investigation of Smollet and his subsequent arrest on charges he orchestrated the attack and lied to police about it. Smollet was sentenced to 150 days in jail following the conviction. The actor was also sentenced to 30 months felony probation, restitution to the city of Chicago in the amount of $120,106, and a fine of $25,000. During the sentencing hearing, Smollet maintained his innocence. Quote, I did not do this, and I am not suicidal, and if anything happens to me when I go there, I did not do it to myself. You must know that, Smollet said. Now, Jussie is not going to go back to jail immediately. He has to appeal with the Supreme Court, and it's probably going to be another year, right? So he's probably going to be out for a whole nother year, and then if the Supreme Court hears his appeal and they uphold his sentence, then he will go to jail. So he's probably not realistically going to go to jail until, like, I don't know, 2025, which is crazy to think about, right? I mean, he's really working the system. But I do think he will eventually go to jail, right? But, it could be a minute before he actually really goes to jail. Now, if they deny his appeal, then he will go to jail. But it's going to take some time before they actually deny it or choose to hear it and then, go through that process. So he's not going back to jail directly or right now. I think eventually he will have to serve the time. Yeah, so again, we all know what happened with Smollet. He went to jail. He filed an appeal. Okay, they're going to keep appealing. They're trying to keep this man out of jail no matter what. But I think that Jussie should just give up, and he should just go ahead and serve out his jail sentence, right? I think personally that considering what he did, considering the division and hate that this man caused in this country, because, what he did basically smeared Trump supporters as racist and homophobic, right? And this is something that the mainstream liberal media went with. They were already trying to drum up that narrative that, Trump supporters are, a danger to, so-called minorities and gay people and transgender people and whatever, right? This is a narrative that they were already trying to push. This guy took advantage of that and tried to gain fame and clout off of it, off of fake hate crime. And again, he divided the country. And when you do something like this, I think that you should be thoroughly punished. I actually think that 6 months is not enough, right? I think that he should be serving at least 3 to 4 to 5 years, right? He should be serving hard time. He should be in prison, not just a local county jail. He needs to be in prison, okay? A state prison, locked up, serving hard time, breaking big rocks into little rocks. That's exactly what this man should be doing. So again, he's lucky that he's only getting 5 to 6 months, and he's kicking and screaming and boo-hoo-whining and crying about it. But, you know, at the end of the day, he's clearly guilty. He's obviously faked a hate crime against himself. And I don't know why this guy keeps saying that he's innocent. Maybe in his head, he believes that he's innocent, right? Maybe in his head, he believes that because he has Infinity Stones of wokeness, that, you know, he's allowed to fake a hate crime against himself. That is not really a hate crime, or is not really, you know, faking a hate crime, because again, he has Infinity Stones of wokeness. Therefore, he's resolved of all of any type of responsibility or accountability for his actions. I mean, again, that is the stereotypical mindset of a woke liberal. Okay, so again, it doesn't surprise me that he doesn't want to take accountability or responsibility. But I think he just needs to own up to it at this point and just accept the fact that he's going to have to do his little 5 or 6 months and move on with his life, right? As long as he keeps dragging this out, the more people like me are going to talk about it, the more we're going to keep, you know, laughing at him and making fun at the fact that he continues to drag this out, even though he's obviously guilty. But hey, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.
Okay. Okay. So now that we have that out the way, people now understand my frustration. And my frustration is simply the fact that on today, I don't think y'all hear me. On today, the Illinois Supreme Court got it wrong. And it says the Illinois Supreme Court reverses Jussie Smollett's conviction. The Illinois Supreme Court has overturned Jussie Smollett's conviction. Related to allegations that he staged a 2019 attack on himself in Chicago and lied to police. Per Fox 8 NOLA, Smollett's appeal argued that a special prosecutor should not have intervened after the Cook County State's attorney initially dropped the charges. The actor had been convicted on 5 counts of disorderly conduct, sentenced to 150 days in jail, serving only 6 days in jail, given 30 months of probation, and ordered to pay over $130,000 in restitution. In 2019, Smollet claimed 2 men wearing MAGA hats attacked him, tied a noose around his neck, and yelled racist and homophobic slurs, but he was later accused of orchestrating the incident. Now, I want you to read some of these statements. You see mine's number 1. This is straight bullcrap. And I'm going to like my own joint. Somebody said, well, if it's good for the goose. Huh? Chapter closed. Let's allow him to move forward in life and his career. A felon is being sworn in very soon. I'm so happy for him. I always knew he shouldn't have been tried after having signed a plea deal. That's the whole reason our judicial system has plea deals. It's totally illegal for them to come back afterward a deal was signed. Understand this decision protects us all if we found ourselves in the same position. Bullshit. My thing is this. R. Kelly was found not guilty and exonerated. But the feds came back in and did what? Locked him up over lies and allegations. But we got a good old sissy, and I'm going to say it like this. We got a good old sissy that put the city of Chicago in terror. And y'all let him walk free, and nobody in Chicago saying shit. They can get on and talk about R. Kelly. They can get on and talk about Larry Hoover. They can get on and talk about. Kim Fox. But they can get on and talk about Lori Lightfoot. But they won't talk about this fucking sissy. And I'm taking a chance of my channel being taken. But that's cool. Because if you rumble, holler if you hear me. You know what I mean? This is what gets me. And we got a man that's walking free, living his life because he's part of a community. Right? Because he's part of a community that put terror in the communities of the city of Chicago. And I haven't heard not one motherfucking person from Chicago say anything about this. Not one. So when I say R. Kelly Chicago don't give a damn about R. Kelly, I mean that. And you might say, oh no, well, R. Kelly had a brotherhood. Bullcrap. He never had a brotherhood. R. Kelly had certain people that loved him. And when the new people came in and got in Rob's ear, Rob pushed the old people that loved him out. If you think I'm lying, let's look at the two trials. The BS that happened in trial 2 and trial 3 never happened in trial 1. But that's another live, another day. And I believe that live is coming Saturday. Or if not Saturday, it's going to come Monday. Because I got some things to talk about R. Kelly, brotherhood. And some folks ain't going to like it. So as I look at these comments, to this day, I still don't get why he did all that. The show was dope. He's a good actor. Everything seemed to be heading in the right direction. Facts. Y'all scared me for a sec. Thought the Lord had called. He Kamala cousin for real. So when somebody said that to me in one of my lives last week, I totally ignored it because I knew that to be true. Let's move on. We all make mistakes. Hold on. This is the same person that dogged out R. Kelly. So if we can say let's move on, we all make mistakes for Jussie Smollett, right? If R. Kelly did do any of what they tried to say he did, why can't we just move on and say R. Kelly made a mistake? I'm going to tell you why. Because he won't conform and fold to the system. And people cannot take the fact that they were wrong about R. Kelly. They went and misquoted the man. They spread lies. Listen, and we even had people talk about the way, oh no, R. Kelly drink coffee behind his mama and this, and they made up their whole ideology. We seen it play out on YouTube. But none of that was true. And when the facts start coming out, they all start disappearing. So I just want to ask a question. The question is, what makes Jussie Smollett better than R. Kelly? And you can go on the Shade Room and just look at the comments. Just look at the comments. It's going to make you sick. But what makes Jussie Smollett better than R. Kelly? That's all I want to know. What makes Jussie Smollett better than R. Kelly? And if anybody want to come up, just be like, drop the link and we can have that talk. But I will say this. Chicago needs to be blown up and reconstructed. because they have some of the most heinous people in there. And I'm going to say it. Matter of fact, I'm going to say it like this. Get all the good people out of Chicago and surrounding areas of Chicago and blow up the rest of the city with all the negative people in it. What's wrong with starting over? Can't we just forget and move on? That's what they did to Black Wall Street. So why can't you do it to Chicago? See, this the Dana that a lot of people don't like. Because the first thing they'll say, oh no, Dana crazy, this and that. No, I'm not crazy. I'm speaking reality. Folks attacked Candace Owens for talking about George Floyd, right? Oh no, she whitewashed, she this. Okay. So what about the dude that killed that unalived your cousin at the end of the block? Why are you quiet about that? But you vocal about Candace Owens? Huh? Oh, you vocal about Derek Chauvin putting a knee on your boy, which he shouldn't have done. He was wrong for that, and I'm glad he's paying for that. But you got to realize that your boy started hyperventilating because he had some drugs in the system. So you go off on Derek Chauvin for putting a knee on George Floyd and George Floyd passing, right? But you don't go off on that blood nigga that shot your uncle and that unalived your uncle because your uncle told that blood nigga, don't come and try to change my daughter into a Ruby. I mean, are we going to talk reality? You talk about Donald Trump being a racist, right? But you overlook the bullshit that Kamala Harris said. Huh? You talk about Elon Musk not being from the United States of America, but you cheering for all the illegal motherfuckers that's coming over and making sure you got to work harder and taking everything that the vets fought for this country for can't get supplied to them for. Let's make this make sense. We are living in a Sodom and Gomorrah society that's conformed and trapped by the alabaster box. Not alabaster, but the alabaster box. See, I'm going to say what most of them niggas scared to say. And if you want to know who I rock with, my pronouns are easy. Save the kids. That's who I rock with. And don't miss my live tomorrow. I'm doing 2 lives tomorrow. You don't want to miss either one. I'm going to tell you now. Bible lady, your days are numbered. Because tomorrow, I got a question that all the people need to know. Then on top of that, we're going to talk about the current events in the Trump administration on my politics page. But for right now, I got questions to the so-called black community. All of y'all so-called woke black niggas on Facebook, y'all want to come up under my post and say something? Well, guess what? I'm live once again. And every time I'm live, all of y'all niggas run scared. And I'm going to put it out there. All of y'all niggas run scared. All of y'all niggas run scared. So I'm going to put it out there. If you can't join me on my live and speak your piece, whether it's for what I say or against what I say, do not leave a message under my post. Because I am starting a whole diversity program of people who not scared to speak their mind. If you're scared to speak your mind, I'm not the one that you need to be around. I told you people ain't gonna like it. 22 people done left out. They said, oh no. Oh no. He going too far. Nah, I ain't going far enough. I ain't going far enough. I ain't going far enough. This the problem. It's too many woke niggas that still sleep. Make it make sense. You got too many broke niggas and woke niggas that still sleep. And if you feel as though I'm attacking you, that's because my words is hitting home, so it might be for you. I'm tired of selective conversations. If we're going to unlock one conversation, let's unlock it for it all. Oh no. Look. Yeah. And we're gonna drop the Trump file and we're gonna put it out there. Okay. Well, when we drop the Trump file, let's drop the Biden file, let's drop the Kamala Harris file, let's drop the Obama file, let's drop all the files. Let's not leave no stones unturned. So I'm with, and that's my live going into tomorrow. I'm with Marjorie Taylor Greene. If you're going to drop the Matt Gaetz file, let's drop everybody file. Every senator and every attorney general, let's drop their file. I bet Merrick Garland don't want that. Let's talk about the kids he got in his house in cages. And I ain't talking about Matt Gaetz. Huh? Because see, what Matt Gaetz just did was honorable. He said, I'm going to step back. But what y'all fail to realize is what they talking about putting out there is nothing new. They've been trying this 3 years ago. And they found out they couldn't charge him for nothing because nothing they had was factual. But for him to stay in the AG role, it would still have been a distraction. And he refused to be a distraction. Make it make sense. So my question is, how can anybody in Chicago still be sitting up there saying, oh yeah, I love Chicago, and not having a voice about this Jussie Smollett situation? I'm going to go here. It's people I don't like in Chicago that claim Chicago, even out in Bolingbrook. I can't stand some of them folks. But I'm a man of my word, and I stand on principle. If you let Jussie Smollett get away with it, you might as well let the whole city of Chicago get away with it. Or should I say the whole city of Illinois? You might as well consider yourself a purged state. Because what Jussie Smollett did was 12 times worse than anybody other than people that unalive folks that I've seen on the Illinois docket. Now, for anybody that want this, because I'm not going to read it all, I have it. I'll send it to you free of charge. Just inbox me and tell me that you want it. I'm not going to continuously make myself upset, right? I'm not going to do that. But what I will do is skim down to the 32nd page. I'm going to skim down to the 32nd page, right? And I'm going to ask you a question. How is this possible? The question is, how is this possible? I'm going to let y'all think about that. How is this possible? And with that being said, I want y'all to know that Dana J love everybody. Dana J out. Y'all have a good night. Peace.
I don't like to waste time on stupid conversation. There's no profit in that. So if I'm around people that are always complaining with no solutions, then I'm wasting real estate in my brain for what I need to project. And what I project in my brain is what I project in my reality. So that real estate only has to be for evolution, things that are going to help me get where I got to go. You understand? Help me evolve. So if my conversation with you makes me stagnate, we don't have too much conversation either. I don't have no time for no stupid ass conversation.
Swimming in you. Hey, little mama. Said I wanna take a dip in your pool. Just go for a little dive, yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. Swimming in you. Hey, little mama. Said I wanna take a dip in your pool. Just go for a little dive, yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah, yeah.